On the Table podcast is with your host, with your humble and highly gracious host, KO. And
aggressive.
Yeah, you got to come in there, with some aggression.
I'm ASMR Rob.
This is Spot Collins, and that is...
I'm KO that yells too much.
Yes, you gotta get your yells out, okay? Gotta blow the people's ears out. You gotta bring the energy.
Please listen to this at the highest volume possible.
Yes, please bump us in your car, okay?
Yeah, rest in peace to everyone's ears that was listening to headphones when they first started this.
Immediately threw that shit out.
Yes.
Immediately threw you guys in a blender.
And especially on that one episode where we had that silver mic where it was like peaking.
Oh,
It was like... Did you listen to that one? Did you hear that one?
It
was
was
like, zzz. But
it's
yeah,
like actually painful.
today we got some current affair topics that we're going to cover, like Kyle Rittenhouse and whatever Kanye's been up to.
Kanye watch 2020.
They watch.
She's been pretty quiet lately.
Kanye's been mad quiet. I've been in front of his house. He hasn't been doing anything.
Okay.
Which
our
actually, I want to point
correspondent.
out just how deep Spot has been in the Ye Watch, and the fact that he actually has a Kanye West-esque kind of shirt, rocking the denim shirt today.
You
Yeah.
see, you're adopting his style.
No
now.
flannels. I've been out in
I see
Wyoming.
one chain right now.
Yeah,
it
just
has-
one.
It has a crystal,
Yeah.
so that's slightly spiritual. I mean,
Yeah.
in my mind, it's not too far off of the Jesus chain. So just know, Spot,
It's coming,
I
bro.
have my eye on you.
Hey,
Mhm.
I feel like a transformation is happening. Everywhere I go, I keep hearing the Bound, the music. Like, and nothing's even playing, bro. I be walking by myself.
To fall in love.
Who that? Every time the sun is shining, I wake up. That's what I hear. I'm not even playing anything.
Like, what the?
You ever asked for more, bitch? Like, I have not, Kanye, and I don't know where you're playing from.
Okay, all right. Well, just know you're cared about.
Thank you. Kanye 2020, Kanye watch. I'm all in.
Who do you guys think is going to be president? Is going to win the presidency?
Joe Biden.
Ooh,
I don't think so.
bro, I'm so agnostic, and I'm just like watching. I just keep watching like different breakdowns and stuff like that. And I feel like every person who I personally find credible is showing that like
Trump.
it's not set in stone
Yeah.
right now, bro.
Right now,
Like-
it's fluctuating.
like Biden has a lead, but like
It's just because nobody likes
please
Trump.
remember,
Yeah.
please remember, going into elections with the Democrats leading is how Republicans win. It's how the last 3 presidents have won.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, does this look exactly like it looked last time we lost?
Mhm.
It kind of does.
Yes.
So yeah, that's like we got a lead, but I'm not comfortable at all, bro, at all. I hope Biden wins.
I feel like a lot of people are saying they'll vote for Trump just because it looks good. And then they're going to turn around on election day and vote for Biden, but they're going to vote for Trump.
Oh,
You're
I think
saying
they're
a lot
saying
of people are
gonna-
saying
yeah.
that they're going to vote for Biden.
Just because
but
they
they're gonna
got
go-
black friends, but when
Yes,
they go
they're
to the
gonna-
polls,
they're gonna vote for-
they're going to vote for
So
Trump.
I actually agree, and I was just watching something that was saying that they think some people are really kind of underestimating the power of the shy Trump voter. So like, when they like poll people about who they're going to vote for, they feel like the people who tend to support Trump, there's a good swath of them that don't want to say it out
Yeah,
loud.
they just
Yeah.
won't
So
say
they're-
it, or
yeah.
they'll be on
Yes.
some.
That's
I'm
how
gonna
he
say
won
I'm
the
gonna
first
support
time.
Biden.
The first
Yeah.
time, they all counted him out. Nobody thought that he was going to win, and then he won. It was like,
That was literally. I know a dude that's like one of the nicest white dudes I've ever met. Like, as sweet as pie, man. Like really, really nice. Like, make you almost forget that slavery happened. And literally, the homie the other day was like, "Yeah, he's a Trump supporter." I was like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah, bro. Like, avid Trump supporter." I'm like, that doesn't register. I would have never guessed that. So I'm like, this is a person where I'm thinking, oh, we're in California. Nobody here likes Trump. And here, this is one of the nicest dudes I ever met.
Bro, my expectations have been so broken. Like, I'm so jaded. I trust no one. You can show me a cloned doppelganger of me fresh out of the machine, and I'd go, I don't know, man. He might support Trump. I gotta see. Like, let me talk to him a little bit. He just might be a Trump supporter. I can't really trust his political views off the bat.
Rob has a kid next week. He gonna look at it like
something to those certain white people who y'all are describing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's what he represents to like other white people, but to them he may represent, something other than
to
democratic status quo.
I think he represents the white people. Like, when it comes to the people that aren't racist, I think the people that are attached to him are the people that are in fear of like the extinction of the white race.
I think that a lot of the protests and riots have kind of boosted the fear of black people by, other race people and white people in particular. But I think that's going to kind of fuel Trump's re-election. Just just off the hysteria of he's running as the law and order candidate, and that's most of the white people have, or a lot of white people have businesses. They have stakes in the game, and they want
I feel like he embodies that attitude of like all the white people that don't understand the movement, and it's not even just embodied it to the point where it's like. He is the version of them that doesn't want to hear the definition, is sick of the protest, and don't really care about them. Like, no matter what you say, they always have an answer, even if their answer is wrong. And it's like, this is not something you need an answer for. Like, killing people is wrong, and you need to admit that we get killed at a higher rate. Yeah, but if you don't know, there is no yeah, but. So he represents the people that not just say yeah, but. We're like, no, it's not happening. Shut up. No, shut up. I'm sick of it. Like the people that were painting over the Black Lives Matter painting on the street. He embodies those people. Like, he's that to the people that don't feel like.
Yeah, it's like he embodies a lifestyle of being unwilling to change, like
stubbornness,
to like outside information, and it's just like. No matter what he does, it's always like,
this is how it is.
Despairing information is fake news.
Yeah,
it's like a cult. It's a cult of personality.
That's my thing. Like, yo, bro, you are so bold. Like, you can take actual information, like facts. Like, somebody could put facts in his face, and he'll be like, no, that's not true. I'm like, wait, bro, like I showed you a video of it. No, fake. So the video I just took is fake. Yep.
I just think that. He's too old, and Biden's too
They're
old.
Both too
They're
old.
both too old.
Oh,
man, that boy. Oh,
but, that's how our politics are run in America.
All right, who would win in a fist fight?
Trump.
Really?
Yes.
Isn't Biden? No, Biden's not the war hero. That's
Trump is huge too. He's like 6'3" or something.
But he has the little
240.
He has the little hands. He has those tiny little baby hands.
He will give Biden those little hands.
You think?
Yes.
I'm personally not too sure because as of recently, Trump Trump went to the hospital and he tweeted out that he was going there to get an early jump on one of his physicals. But then after leaving the hospital, he sent out a random unprompted tweet. No one was talking about this beforehand. He said that
very Trump-esque.
I did not have many strokes. Like something like basically. So
they
like
both got health complications.
So as of recently,
He just goes in, comes out. Well,
and this
we definitely ruled out many strokes.
They both have brain stuff going on. Okay,
and this isn't the only piece of evidence that
they're at
is
that
out
age.
There. Like people recorded him walking down a ramp, and he was like not putting weight on.
Yeah.
It was like either his left or his right leg. So it may look like he may literally not be able to move one side of his body as well as the other. Not as much to where it's like drooping in the face, but it's starting like it. There is
let me make this clear. I'm not laughing at people that having strokes.
He's old. They're
not-
old, both of them.
I'm not
Clarify
laughing at
how
people.
you're laughing at people that have
I'm not
strokes.
laughing at people having stroke. I'm laughing at the thought of Trump having a stroke, which I don't care about. You guys,
Yeah,
this
no,
is
fair
funny
enough.
to me. I think it's hilarious.
Fair enough. I'll allow it.
First of all,
Wait, I'm sorry. Run that back one more time.
first of all, first. I gotta get my second little baby hand up here. First of all,
Canceled. Anyway,
I know I haven't built the wall.
So personally, here's the scenario that plays out in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Trump out the gate, first round, he bloodies Biden up, and I mean, I think it's going to get,
Okay.
a little bit bloodier than people expected. Will, because remember when Biden was like was getting like talked about by like Kamala Harris or somebody. It was like two different people started railing on him in a debate, and then his eyes
Do you mean
started
physically
doing that.
or politically?
Okay. Rhetorically.
Rhetorically.
So like they were kind of attacking him in the debate.
No, I mean like in a fight.
Oh no, he's talking about a real
Oh,
physical
no, I'm
fight.
talking about a
Physical.
fight. I'm talking about Trump versus Biden. So
Yeah.
first round,
UFC.
Yeah.
First
Gloves,
round,
shorts,
Trump-
everything.
I think Trump's coming out hot. I
Okay,
think Trump.
yeah.
I think Trump's going. I think that first round. I think people are going to be like, "Hey, because you know how Democrats ride high. Like we're riding high right now. We're like, hey, bro, we got this in the bag, bro. We got the popular vote. It's going to be easy. Biden's going to be the one who has like the nice walk-in. He's going to have like
The music and
It's going to be
everything.
like a Mayweather walk-in. He's going to have like Bieber or something like that when he walks in. And then Trump's going to come out.
No, he's gonna come out with Obama. Like he's gonna come out. With
Right, exactly. He's gonna have Obama, and then that first round, Trump is gonna come out because he's gonna have something to prove. He's gonna blood him up. He's gonna get that eye going, and then second and third round is probably gonna be not as bad, but still not quite as good as you want it to be for Biden to actually carry out like a W from this. So it's gonna be looking kind of good for Trump, like third or fourth round. And then fifth or sixth round, bro, in that corner, they going to give Biden that same drug that they gave him after that first debate when he came out with Bernie Sanders, bro. They're going to give him that
Just
same
a shot of steroids
bro,
real quick.
bro. And I guarantee for some reason, if they're fighting in suits, Biden's suit is going to lose all the wrinkles. Like it's going to come back.
No, I just picture from the jump of the two old wrinkly white men with the UFC shorts, but their stomachs hanging over.
You're gonna throw one punch and have a heart attack.
Both
Both
of
of them. Both of them.
Whoever throws the first punch is gonna scare the other one and give him a heart attack.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're really doing this.
How many rounds are we going? 10 rounds? What is it?
Bro, this is already going past 4, if that.
One.
bro,
They're not gonna
mind.
make it out of one
Keep in
round,
mind,
bro.
I only
Somebody-
made it to round
Boxing
8.
and punching is so strenuous.
Somebody's gonna have a heart complication.
It's so much
and
more
kill
energy
over.
than you would think it is when you're like,
Yeah, bro. And I only made it to round 8. Honestly, 9 and 10.
You giving them
I
a-
don't know who's gonna come out on top, bro. That's a knockdown, drag out fight, my guy.
You know who's gonna come out on top? The paramedics. That's who's
Yes.
gonna come out.
that's what's gonna be on top.
They're gonna come out on top giving those niggas CPR. We told you not to do this. We told you.
The one that's coming out on top is that life insurance commercial that they have where the old people are just walking. These are going to be some of the most boring commercials we had ever seen for a pay-per-view boxing event.
This fight was sponsored by Life Alert.
Yes.
Wow.
If you fall and you can't get up, call Life Alert.
The pins. This one is brought to you by the glue you use to hold your dentures.
This is going to be the biggest fight not trending on Twitter.
Everybody watching, they just don't want to admit they watching it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What y'all doing? Masturbating.
I'm watching a Twitch stream, Mom. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Knock before you come in.
What are you doing? Protesting. Relax. You better not be watching the fight in there. I'm not. Jeez, fuck. Go away.
Yeah, so as far as the Biden Trump fight, I'm not too sure.
If you had to put your money on somebody,
I'm not putting
politically
any money on that.
in the
way.
race. Who do you think who do you think is gonna win, or who do you think is gonna come out? Like, who's gonna be president?
Rob does not choose to say because he doesn't want to be wrong.
Oh no, hell no, bro. I'm fine with being wrong. I hope
Be
Biden
wrong,
wins,
Rob.
bro. I hope Biden wins, bro.
The hope.
But all I'm like, just looking at this like a sport, like I just wouldn't put money on it either way. With all the voter suppression going on right now, with a lack of a platform that Biden has to actually get progressives excited into it, it's just like he's and the lack of going for minority support. So it's just like there's nothing I can tell my immediate friends to spur up their excitement for the election.
Yes.
There's nothing. They did
Nothing
nothing to
on
try
the ballot
and appeal to.
for
What am I going to tell you? Aside from hope that you pay attention to politics well enough to be able to tell the difference between Donald Trump and Biden. But that's like a super intricate sale.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of that, you have the fact that you
you have to be informed.
Personally,
You have to
I think
really know about what their platforms are, both of them.
And I mean, personally, I think it's the right move. Like, I think it's the only path forward for us to like put Biden in office and to try and put pressure on his campaign more than like even remotely imagine that the Trump campaign is going to do anything good for black people. Like, for me, that seems like an even more ridiculous idea. But I just feel like that's a tough sell for people who don't know politics. That's a really tough sell when like Trump can just like come out right now and just be like,
I gave y'all
A
$1,200.
vote for
$1,200.
Biden is a vote for Kamala Harris, because he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it one term, okay? He's already showing severe mental degradation, okay? I'm interested to see what the debates are going to be like, okay? He's probably not.
First of all,
going to
Trump.
notice him leaving already.
First of all, Trump, you have to admit.
Biden, wake up.
You have to admit.
Get in the car, loser. We're going.
Biden, wake up.
I want 2 toasts. I want strawberry pancakes.
Biden, it's a debate right now. We're at a debate.
We're not at Denny's?
No.
Oh, shit.
You know where you're at.
Well, can I still get the pancakes?
Somebody get in the pancakes, please.
Just
Man,
give me the pancakes.
let me not be a little ableist and shout out to all the narcoleptic people who are probably very sweet people for the 30 minutes that they're awake. You guys are probably
For everybody I've offended in this episode,
the best of humanity.
get
Y'all
together.
cool people too.
Go ahead and get together and sanction me. Sanction me with your army, okay? Oh, wait, you don't have one?
Hey, man, the court of public opinion is very strong. It has taken down many a person.
Okay, all of you guys, write me your letters, and when I'm finished reading each one individually, I will start with the apologies.
They won't write you a letter. They will find your real name and write your job a letter by the thousands and get you fired.
That's fine.
They'll literally try to destroy your life. But that's cool, you know. Lifeless people,
Okay.
internet troll people.
Shit, you know, life good.
It's just going to boost you up.
Yeah. I've been I wanted to go back to stripping anyway, so
He's like, I've been waiting on a reason to
waiting.
pull my ejector seat, bitch. Don't play with me.
Look, Mom, I can't get a job nowhere. They were mad about the narcoleptic thing. I'm gonna go back to being a stripper. Nobody judged me at Thunder Down Under.
I feel like Spot, like low key, like when we're gonna be like 40, he's gonna be that one friend who has like that rich dude exit plan. Like he's gonna have the dude waiting to give him the fake ID and a duck out to the other country. But he's gonna do it a little too
Safe
soon.
house.
He's gonna
Safe house at
Pull
30.
that cord
Safe
a
house
little
at
bit.
35.
Just a little too. And the funny part, we're gonna have to like actually catch up with him in Fiji, just to even
He'll be in
able to tell him,
disguise and
like,
shit.
bro, it was a little too soon. He's like, oh, what?
What?
Word?
Oh.
No one's looking for you, bro. Like
Nobody,
bro.
They weren't even offended, bro.
They didn't care.
Like, oh damn, that's wild.
So when I talk about black people, nobody's offended. Yeah, I could have told you that, bro. I would have thought the nation would have been in an uproar.
Well, either way, I'm going to the beach now. So
Yeah, well, we're here now. So
This is Cabo, right?
I can't wait.
way too early, bro.
Oh, trust me, I got the plan already. There's a nice
getaway
compound in the
plan.
Ivory Coast of Africa, bro. Y'all ain't gonna find
Bro, I swear,
me.
you and my brother, man, y'all two are the ones,
You're not gonna find me.
hands down, the ones who will pull that ejector cord and Dr. Manhattan yourself away from human society.
At the
way
first
too
time, at the
quickly.
first sign of I don't like this.
First time, like, I'm up. Yep, they canceled me. I'm out.
You know what? You were offended by that. I can't bounce back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lord Pep has returned, licking his asshole.
Literally. So you guys canceled me, so I can't host the Grammys because about what I said about Dolphin. Okay.
Speaking about large groups of people, have you guys been seeing all like the protests and everything? And
Man, I've been seeing mad parties, bro.
Parties?
Stop partying. Y'all
Okay, people
stop
are back
partying
partying now.
Like, it's not worth it. Like, I know your birthday came up. That's cool. Happy birthday. We appreciate you. You made it around the sun. Cool. We got you next year. Next year, your party's going to be twice as lit. I
I'm saying,
promise.
bro, it's okay.
Okay.
I mean, I might miss my birthday this year. It's in February. We're not looking like we're going to be cleaned up until next August.
I mean,
you
I'll
think
probably
people
be
have the
good
right to
'cause I'm in November,
protest then?
but you know, y'all chill out. Me, I'll celebrate.
Yeah.
But y'all calm it down.
Y'all calm it down. No, honestly, at this point, I don't. Because in one thing in the Constitution, you will notice a reoccurrence is all the little, you have the
Don't
right,
what? Wait. Clarify yourself.
They do not have a right to protest.
Okay.
So, because if you look at all the amendments, you have the right to bear arms, you have the right to this, you have the right to pursue the happiness, you have the right to, it always says at the end, you have the right to all this stuff.
Yeah.
As long as you do not infringe on the happiness of other people.
Okay.
And I feel like going outside is not only infringing on the happiness,
Yeah.
but the safety of other people.
Okay.
So therefore, since you're infringing on that part, you need to stay your ass at home.
Okay.
Stay home. Stay home. And so it's the same thing. I can bear arms. I can walk down the street. But as long as it does not infringe on other people, which means as soon as they don't feel safe, they're allowed to call the police, and I can get harassed
or
about
as soon
what
as
you're
you
doing.
can prove that your
So,
actions is
the
putting
crowd
you
was
in
wrong.
long-term danger.
Yes. The crowd was wrong with Kyle Rittenhouse.
So this is the thing
And
about
he was
Kyle
wrong
Rittenhouse.
for being
The
there.
thing about Kyle Rittenhouse, they were protesting, being persecuted by the police. He was trying to save a building he didn't own. I don't even know if he knew those people or if he just found out.
I'm still waiting to even find out if they were even asked to be there. I'm waiting on the edge
Same.
of my seat for that information.
That's what I'm like.
Because-
Who asked him to come through? Who asked the 17-year-old to come bring his gun?
Well, it was a militia of other men that were adults.
That's what I'm saying.
and he
Who
was a
asked
17-year-old
the
with them
17-year-old to come and join them? Who was the main person in that
across
group
two state lines?
that sent him the DMs like, "Hey, bro, we're gonna be over here, bro. Pull up."
I don't know what type of invitation was sent out.
That's what I'm saying.
It could have been
How did
public.
he find out?
Could have been like.
And who was like, "Bring everybody. If you're white with a gun, come through." Was it sent to black people?
They
with
might not have
guns?
said that though. It might have just been like,
We need to
moving down
protect our
here.
businesses
Yes,
and-
it might have been vague, and then he just saw it.
He
and,
overdid it.
He came down.
I blame his mom for bringing him. His mom should have never brought him.
His mom brought him down there.
His mom brought him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And brought him with the gun, and I knew he had the gun, and it wasn't just like, "Oh, mom, can you take me?" His mom brought him across 2 states to go do that.
Good
So for
parenting.
me, the point of this protest was inevitable. Like, this is something you couldn't have stopped. Like, I don't think it's me. I feel like we should find other ways to protest, such as financially. If you want to protest, we've been over this again. I hate going out and marching and da, da, da. If you want to protest now, especially during COVID, if you have an essential job, don't show up to work. That would be a nice protest.
Yes.
If you are having a stimulus check, don't spend it on certain companies that are supporting people you don't vote for or you don't ideas that you don't support, and do that for months, not just a couple days, weeks, months.
A large percentage of the population already doesn't vote.
Yeah, so they don't vote. So here's the point.
I think it's like 50%.
The best thing you could do is not spend your money with the people that you don't rock with. So if I'm just giving out a random company, if the Blue Lagoon Light Company, I don't know if that really exists or something. Somebody's about to say, you mother. Write that letter, Janine.
On my copyright.
Write the letter, Janine. So if the Blue Lagoon,
Collins cease.
I just feel like if it's multinational, then they're not relying solely on your dollar.
But it's like if the Blue Lagoon has already came out and said we support Trump, we support the police, and we believe that black people need to shut up and do this, that, and the other. Then it's like, okay,
like no one would say that because
they're not going to say that.
End of their business.
But if they did that in the sly business way of saying, we support the police and what they're doing in the community.
By the actions.
Exactly. So they do that. You find that they're donating to the Trump campaign. Then you don't give them your money no more. And if you don't do that for a couple months, you see how fast so many businesses are closing because of COVID, and we've only been down for like 6 months.
Preach.
So if you stop purchasing things for 6 months, do you think these other companies that we're talking on a massive scale? I'm just talking like mom and pop shops. Chuck E. Cheese is closing, so
thank you.
If Chuck E. Cheese is closing and everybody got kids, so what would you think?
I feel like they're closing because of COVID.
That's the point. They're closing because of COVID.
But like if COVID wasn't in the equation and other people were still coming in, it's like they can still operate under a certain level of.
What they could have done was some of these other businesses, some of these businesses that like they were giving the experience of dinner in a show. They're just delivering dinner, or they're having certain characters deliver their dinner. So Chuck E. Cheese could have done that. They didn't. So they're closing. But it's like
even that's not enough. That's like so much of a large chunk of their revenue was taken away. That it's like
it was.
You're not gonna.
That's what I'm saying. If you take away that same,
you can't even pay your rent.
But I'm saying if you take away that same chunk from somebody else. So if the Blue Lagoon line come and you do give them the same treatment, because now what they're doing is, instead of coming into the shop, just pick up your order online. No, we're not picking up your order online because you give all our money to Trump, and I'm not giving. It's the same thing as giving your money to a crackhead. What do you think they're gonna do? Give it to the crack dealer. So it's like you do this.
Have you been listening to me? Like, what on your opposite? Bro, you were speaking my. Mike is singing my song today. I'm trying to let him finish over here, but I am excited to jump in here because bro is singing.
Because normally I'd be on like shoot 'em war.
Because the thing I've been thinking about lately in the last 2 weeks a lot, especially with the Uber Lyft thing, is the idea of capital strikes and the idea of like protests and different means of protest. Which ways are more effective than others, and especially with the like whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing. And I don't want to let that go because I want to jump back into that. But I just want to say, like, man, I've been thinking about capital strikes so much, and like the idea that you are. People, like individual people, are a part of the economy. A lot of times people, when they think of economics, they think like the stock market, and that's a part of the economy as well. But another major part of the economy, there are two major factors that you contribute to an economy. That's the money you spend, and then the work that you do and that you negotiate for a payment. And that is your leverage. If you organize with enough people to withhold your labor, you guys can have a massive amount of leverage. And I feel like people forget that. And especially in America, there's a long history of really trying to disconnect people from that knowledge of the power that they have. It's not, the total power of the economy, but I just want people to remember that you do have power by saying, I'm not doing this right now. Especially if you can get most of the industry to come together and say, we're not going to do this until this standard gets better. You have power.
Literally, one of the things.
I don't know. I feel like people aren't that organized.
That's the thing. You can't get if you did
stand on your morals and say, I'm not going to work for you because of these reasons. What's to stop them from hiring somebody?
No, that's always the fear. Well, that's always the fear.
It always hinges on that.
You're always gonna have the scabs.
All of that hinges on the organization. If 60% of your population who works for you says that they're not going to work for you. You just do not have enough people for you to make it up. It just will not work out.
Because the other 40%, you got to understand, also out of that 60% is coming part of your clientele, because people are going to spend money where they work at. And at the same time, you're not going to hire from the other 40% because that is your clientele.
Right.
So now the 40% that is willing to cross that line to work for you is also the same 40% that wants to come and pay for it. So now it's like, all right, I got to give an employee discount to the people that originally were coming here and buying this. And you guys are the only ones coming in here and buying things now. So it's like, they're not going to give jobs. You just have to get a larger part of that group to strike with you or to stop with you. And then you can kind of like build from there.
I agree.
So literally, I've always told people, I'm like, look, if all black people just stop going to work for a couple weeks, a full month, everybody would get the picture. Or at least
I
they
feel
would.
like getting all of people to do anything.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. It's going to be, and it's doggone near impossible.
It is really hard, but it is undeniable that if you do get them to come together, they do have the power.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could always say, okay, so the power could be diluted through different ways, but you have to admit that once they do organize, once they are moving in lockstep, it's incredibly powerful.
Bro, look at the NBA strike. These dudes said, we're not playing one game, and everybody started flipping out. Like they said, we're not playing this game right now, and we might not play no more games after this. And everybody, what do we got to do to get you guys to play? Okay, what else? Where can we put money? What can we say? What can we do to get you guys back on the court? So imagine doing that.
We said before in another podcast that it'd be better for them to play because then they can use their voice to advocate for whatever.
Yeah, they said that too. And they went out, they played, they put the names on the jersey.
They protested. They didn't play, actually.
No, I'm saying it would be, when we first said it, that was a while ago when we were trying to see if they were going to come back or
they're
not.
Deciding what they were going to do.
They were trying to decide if like, yo, do we want to come back and play at all? Then they started playing, and then somebody else got shot, and they're like, yo, okay, we came back and played, and you guys are still acting stupid, so we're not going to play this next game. And everybody was like, oh no, we need basketball. So they, come on, let's talk. What do we have to do? We want y'all to do this. We want y'all to do this. We want y'all to do this. Okay.
I read somewhere that their viewership went down and that UFC's went up.
Yeah,
when they did that.
Yeah, because UFC, what's his name, is a Trump supporter. Dana White. Dana White is a Trump supporter at the same time. So it's like anybody that wasn't with the whole protest was like, oh, here the niggers go. I'm getting mad again. Just shut up and dribble. I'm going to watch all these people beat up each other.
I feel like people are going to watch what's on.
They're going to watch what's on. But
if it's on, then,
they're going to get mad about, a lot of white people get mad about, can you turn me down just a little bit? A lot of white people get mad about the fact, well, not even white people. A lot of people get mad at the fact that athletes are speaking up because they're like, you don't deal with this kind of persecution. You don't deal with this kind of, and they don't know that most of the time these people have dealt with this kind of persecution before they got in the league. Some deal with it after they got in the league. And then on top of that, the fact that they're in the league, some of these people are suffering different type of persecution. Just the fact that you tell them that they can't do nothing but play ball is a persecution. It's like, yeah, you worked really hard. You went to school. You actually, you might be an educated person, but just for the fact that you run really fast, I don't want to hear what you think.
I agree. I personally think that intersectionality is one of the hardest things for people on the left and, well, incredibly much so on the right, but for people on the left who are supposed to like tout more of that ideology, it's still incredibly misunderstood. I've heard people say so many like very like cringy things like fucking stop cussing.
What do you mean by intersectionality?
So what I mean by that is like, for example, saying that someone who is rich can't experience racism when those things aren't necessarily interlinked. One thing is a class struggle of a socioeconomic nature. The other one is a struggle of racial identity. And just because you have privilege in one doesn't inherently mean that you have privilege in the other. They may intersect with each other. Maybe, for example, you won't experience a certain kind of racism because you're never in a certain kind of setting. But you may still experience racism as a whole. Like, you know, just being a rich person.
Yeah, if you're if you're a poor black person, you might get picked on by the police and get, you know, harassed. If you're a rich black dude, you probably never experienced that trauma just because where you're at, you know, cops don't frequently, you know, stop or don't even come to that area a lot because they feel like it's a good neighborhood. But even then, you might experience racial discrimination in school, you know, which you'll notice different, or you just might notice a racial discrimination amongst your friends. Like, yeah, these people don't invite me to this event, you know, which I've had. You know, I went to a majority white church for a cool minute because my parents wanted to go to church in Fullerton. So it was like I've noticed that certain events or certain gatherings I wouldn't get invited to, and I'm the only black dude at that church in that little age group of men, and you know we're all graduating and elevating at the same level.
There could be a distinction drawn between racism and like what you saying, like prejudice.
Yeah, definitely. It's like if you're racist, I feel like you're trying to bring down a certain race for whatever reason. If you are prejudiced, it just means that you prefer certain, like I'll tell people all the time, when it comes to my dating preference, you could say I'm prejudiced and I wouldn't even fight or debate you about that. I like black women. I want to have children with black women because I want to have black babies. That is my personal preference. Does that mean I'm trying to destroy the white race? No. So it's not racist. I believe white people should have children. I believe they should go and have children with white people, especially if they want to have white babies. Go do your thing. I have no problem with that. But would I have a white baby? No, I can't. And would I prefer to have... No, I prefer to have a black, dark-skinned baby because I understand the dark black struggle. So I can teach my son things about being dark-skinned and black. So it's like if I'm a fish, I can't teach a bird how to do fish things. So I'd rather have a fish. So for me, people be like, oh, that's racist because you don't want to have a white wife or a white girlfriend. No, that's not racist at all. I appreciate white women. I can see the beauty in white women and all that. It's just me, when I think about kids, I think dark-skinned kids. So there is a difference between racism and prejudiceness.
But the better question is when you think of a white child, do you think that's not my baby?
That's not my child. No, I do want to adopt a white child at one point. Like that is the goal. But after I have some black babies,
I'm gonna talk about you the way they talked about Brad Pitt and Angela. I was like, look at him just adopted this white baby.
Yeah, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. And honestly, that is gonna be the main. First of all, when my white child watches this
or something like that.
Yo, when my white child when Tavion watches this in the future, I just want to let you know I love you, son. I adopted you because you called to me in my heart.
Name that boy Engine Block.
I really loved you. I didn't adopt you from any other reason but except for the fact that the Most High put it on my spirit to take you home with me. Now, I want to adopt a little white baby because they keep adopting all these black babies from Africa, bro. I'm going to go get me some little rescue from Yugoslavia or Ukraine.
The truth comes out.
And I'm going to go get me a little white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby, bro, and be like, he's a rescue. Just like them, and name him like guava fruit or some shit, you know. Sorry, some stuff. I can't wait. And I'm going to go have him play with all the black babies that are raised by white people. I'm like, go play. Go tell them how it is on the other side.
Little Chermoya.
Yeah, something black, man, like Tratavion or like Demarius, something like mad black. You're gonna walk up with all the other kids. Hi, my name is Spaceship. What's your name? Raekwon. What y'all doing?
But he looked like Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Oh, y'all playing with blocks and all right. Bad. Y'all smoke? No, we're 7. So no.
Look like the babies from Sons of Anarchy.
Bro, big fact, bro. I just want me a little Jack stand. Growing up in my crib, just so I could play out that one scene from Mean Girls. Hey, yo, Dad. What's up, son? Hey, since I'm adopted and whatnot. Who told you were adopted? Dad, for real. For real. Come on, Dad. I know. Okay, this is a lot for me to process. How long have you known? A while, Pops. Like, I've known for a while. Okay, let me go ahead. What's your question? Yo, can I go meet my white parents? No. I don't think that's right for you, right? Jay Sean, you just have to understand. You came from a really broken home. You had it rough.
Bro,
Hopefully your white parents were a dick. Why do you keep saying that when you bring up my real parents? Why you got to keep bringing up that they were white?
There are some white supremacists listening to you right now like, this is my nightmare.
Yo, bro, his head is about to explode. He's on his computer trying to find me. And you're too late. I already signed the papers. My white baby's on the way.
Racist white baby over my dead body.
Deliver him.
Why let this Negro raise this white kid? Never. Yo, he's gonna be the biggest black activist ever. Like he's gonna be out there on the street. Hey, look, y'all. I don't know why my son gotta talk like that.
Now he's from Texas.
Hey, look, y'all.
I
Exactly.
look, y'all.
I don't know why my son gotta ride on 4-4s.
I don't know why your son is
Ride on
Drake. He
Fofo.
keeps trading. He's whatever
Now
nationality.
he's from the islands.
Apparently, I adopted Paul Wall, so. Hey, look.
Hey, look.
Got the grilling on. Hey, look, y'all.
Pull that foe up real quick.
Look, as I pull up, we gonna go ahead and talk about all the folks out here that is getting killed and harassed for racial violence. Hey, let y'all know.
I done stayed down.
I ain't really with that right quick, bro. You come for me and mine, bro, I'm gonna have to put you down on some real G shit. Ooh, I hit this, folks. Yeah, buddy. Anyways, yeah, anybody else come through try to touch any of my family, I'm just gonna let you know we got hitters and we gonna go. I'm like, look, son, stop. That's not how I raised you. I raised you for something better than this. I can't wait to have my little white baby.
Okay.
Like,
Little white babies.
How do we get here? Where are we coming from for the white?
Hey, this is what we gotta do. I'm gonna have my black family with just my little speckle in there, my little white speck. And that's gonna be the one. Now you treat him different. I'm like, duh. He's white. He's gonna get treated different than y'all his whole life. No matter where y'all go, you're gonna treat him different. No matter where you guys go, they're always gonna treat him different.
You.
Bro, don't care. I'm like, look, if you guys don't think they're gonna treat him different because he's white, go somewhere. Go anywhere. Go anywhere. Go to IHOP. Sit at the table with him. Watch how people look at him specifically over. Why is that one white guy with all those niggers? What is he doing? How did he gain their trust? I wonder, does he like chicken? Look at him.
He does.
Look, he does. He absolutely does. He absolutely does. Look at him. He probably thinks he's black. That's the hardest thing. That's what I'm afraid of. My white son is going to get, what's her name?
Culturally appropriation.
No,
that's what they're going to say.
Yeah, what's her name, though?
He's just going to be
Bad
being
baby.
himself.
Yeah, he's going to be.
People are going to give him.
He's going to get bad baby.
The light skin treatment.
He's going to get, damn, you always got to act black. I ain't acting black. How you going to act the color?
I just grew up around black people.
I don't know what y'all talking about. This is just how I act. Y'all need to see my dad.
First, look past color.
First of all, my dad's black.
I'm like, oh, is he?
I'm like, look, first of all, this is my dad right here.
While he's like flipping like blonde hair out of his face, he's like,
First off, my dad's
he's got a
black.
surfer outfit on.
First of all, my dad's black. Like, the only thing black about him is his voice.
Yeah.
Everything else is like mad white.
Just blonde, blue eyes.
Like, he wears white, just like the more like the skater outfit and stuff.
I'm gonna adopt like a real nerdy kid. He's gonna look like Sheldon from Big Bang, but he's still going like, "What? I am black. What are you talking about?"
What do you mean?
Yeah, I meant. What do you mean? Come on, guys. No, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get.
You guys heard WAP?
I love that song. Wet ass pussy. Ha ha ha.
Give me a bucket and a mop.
See, I just want that white child that's over there like, yeah, Megan Thee Stallion could get it. At 9 years old. Oh yeah, I like Meg. She bad. She's thicker than bulletproof glass.
Wow.
I was about to be like, Lupe Fiasco in 2010 was just at peak form.
You want to be a rap scholar?
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Honestly, I feel like Drake and Take Care was the best lyricist, but if you want to talk about overall rap appearances, you gotta go with it.
Yes, man. I want him to have like a super nerdy voice, but to talk like just to give you like the most in-depth analysis about something that's really street.
First of all, the weed in 2010 was very.
The THC percentage was very high right then.
Bro, you know they're about to drop some knowledge when they push the glasses up. Keep it out. First off, like
Before they start talking,
they're like, I can't even look at you.
I have to adjust my glasses
Oh my
first.
Oh my god. I'm gonna adjust my glasses, then not even look at you.
That's the equivalent of like basketball players when they tie in their shoe after you say,
Yes.
"Yo, bro, I'll cook you on the court." Bro, what you said? What? Hold on, bro.
I play
No,
basketball professionally.
bro, stand under the rim. Stand under the rim. That's the equivalent. First of all, you said the weed now is better. You obviously have never smoked some Acapulco Gold back in.
Like, nigga, neither did you. You're 12.
You're 9.
I remember back when there was 3-finger bags. No, you don't. No, I don't even remember when there were 3-fingered bags. Stop talking about this. You know what? No more YouTube. Stop. Get off the computer.
That's enough YouTube for
enough YouTube.
Raekwon.
Oh my God, you guys are still
Young
wearing
white Raekwon.
You guys are still wearing Air Force Ones. You clearly don't know.
Urban historian, you.
Look, honestly, I just want to get me a pair of overalls and a Kango. That's when fashion was at its highest in the hip hop community.
I wrote my dissertation on snap music coming from Atlanta, Georgia.
Nowadays, everybody's just getting famous on TikTok. Before, you actually had to be a real artist, and you had to go, okay. Get off.
We get it.
Get off your phone. Give me your phone. I wanted you to go make a TikTok like all the other kids. Get off. Give me your phone.
You've been on there reading stuff.
Yeah, you've been on there reading again. Stop it.
I can't wait for that, bro. Like a younger generation that's like nostalgic and doing a throwback. They're like doing retro hour style.
Bro.
Like that's going to be so interesting.
When we see kids wearing skinny jeans again, because
Like
that's
jerking.
retro.
Yes, right. They're like, what? Look,
They're
I'm
doing
jerking.
this new thing, jerking.
Remember, you guys used to do this, right? Used to.
Be in a crib, just doing just for old time's sake.
I still got it. This is Cat Daddy, right? This one is.
Trying to serve these kids.
I'm gonna show my little white son what's up. You know what's gonna be the worst part? Is that when I actually do get a white child, somebody's gonna run all this footage back.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Like,
this
before
was his
Showing your
plan.
child this.
They're gonna
From
run.
the jump.
They're gonna run all this footage back, and
This
like
is your
they're
dad,
gonna
your
put
stepdad
they're gonna
right
put
here.
their audio behind like pictures of me
Papa.
and my son.
Papa, did you really mean it?
I thought you said, look, first of all, son, you didn't even catch the part in the beginning where I said I really loved you, and I only got you because most I told all that other stuff. You missed that part. No, I don't care. Look here, Trevion, I love you, but yes, I definitely did adopt you because white people adopt black children all the time. That's the truth. Now go to your room. Why are you watching this? I told you to get off your phone.
Stop reading that hip hop history.
Stop reading this.
On
First
Wikipedia.
First of all, Dad, I'm a grown man. You're 8. I'm a grown man. I can do it.
How did we get here? How did we get to the kid?
We went from the Kenosha shooting
Okay.
To having white children.
to
See, this is how we got here.
To the NBA. I
If-
thought we were going to stick to the NBA.
If
for a
every
second.
black person would adopt one white child, we would have no more Kenosha shootings.
Let's go back to the Kenosha shooting.
Yes,
Did you see the video of it happen?
I've seen the video. I had a friend that tried to defend him by saying, well, he was defending himself. You don't walk up on somebody with an AR-15.
No.
Which is partially true. Like, as a rule of general safety, common sense, even in a situation where you're trying to defend, help yourself, blah, 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 you're playing the hero role. So when you run up on somebody with an AR-15, you're going to get murdered. But that did not mean that those people that got murdered needed to get murdered. So rest in peace to them. But I feel like he was like, the people shouldn't have been out there. They shouldn't have been protesting because nobody should have been out there protesting. There was a curfew in effect. Mm-hmm. To bring back our earlier point, the whole point of a protest is to kind of combat and go against the law. Every protest, they tell you to go home. Every single protest. There's only been a couple of protests now with the whole Black Lives Matter movement where the police are like, oh, we're going to walk with you. We're going to go with you. We're going to protest with you. Most protests, once you run up into that police force, they tell you to go home. And then you don't. And then that's when all the sprays and all the rubber bullets start getting fired and all that. That happens every single protest, every single one.
I think there are legal protests as far as like you having the right permits and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But if you get, I think the question is, what if you get into a situation where your local municipality is no longer granting permits?
Exactly.
So then they're denying you a First Amendment
and right to protest.
To
so
protest.
Exactly. So that's the whole point.
But
of
that
protesting.
interferes with what you said earlier. You said that if the COVID is going and you're supposed to be in the house because you're infringing upon another person's right to safety.
So this is the deal. Everybody that should be at that protest should now be home for the next 2 weeks. That's hard to police, but that's what should happen. If you're going to go out and protest, go home. Don't come out for another 2 weeks. Or there needs to be.
Because
it is.
Protest,
it's mad impossible.
It's like it's protest. So
I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm just spitballing. It's not going to happen. Or we need to have a professional protest committee team, which is just the people that we send out to protest every single time. Like, look, y'all are the protest people. Y'all go it's the same thing y'all did in Wyoming. Go to Wisconsin, do the same thing, because we're not trying to send people to go get sick.
Go back to Kyle. What were you saying about? You were saying he was wrong. Okay,
yeah. So
clarify your position.
So they want to put the blame on the protesters, saying, "Oh, they shouldn't have been out. There was a curfew in effect and all that." But that is the point of protests. Me personally, I still think everybody should stay home right now. But that is the point of protest. You go out and you're going trying to defy the system to let them know that you don't like how things are being ran right now.
We're not gonna take it.
So you do that, and normally the police handles those situations. They have a special task force. They have a special set of uniforms. That's why they have riot gear to handle riots, to handle protests, to handle unruly people if they feel like they're getting out of hand. The fact that the police allowed and seemed to be aiding a group of one race, like one single race. There was no Asians, no Mexicans, no Filipinos. There was no...
I'm not sure, but I think one of the amendments is the right to form a militia. I'm not sure what the reason is, like for what.
The right to bear arms.
There's a right you can bear arms
for a well-regulated militia.
Yeah.
Emphasis being on well-regulated.
Well-regulated, which I don't think this was. This was just a bunch of people from one race trying to protect businesses, and you let them go near, like, common sense would have told you, do not let white people with guns around angry majority angry black protesters.
The people who attacked them wasn't black.
Yeah, but they were black people.
Got shot.
The people that got shot weren't black, but that's what I'm saying. Majority black protesters, or people that are protesting for Black Lives Matter, do not let whatever side you're on, even if you're on a Trump supporter, white supremacist side, my thoughts would have been like, do not let these people with guns around these people that are protesting
it's
me
an
right
open
now.
carry. I'm not sure, but I think it's an
carry.
open carry state. And some of the protesters had guns on them, too.
Now, that's my thing. If it's an open carry state, you have to be thinking about this. Like, all right, this is an open carry state. People can go where they want and they can carry their guns. But these two people are volatile. Like this is a very volatile situation. It's like watching, if you're a Crip or a Blood, and you're watching one Crip walk down one street, and you're watching the Blood come down the other way from the same street, and you see that they have conflict, and you're like, let's see what happens. And that's what I felt like the police. And not only that, they were like, here, bro, here's a burner.
I feel like they
This
can't
dude's
stop
coming.
them from protesting,
They can't stop people from protesting.
and
they
they
didn't
also
limit- they didn't
can't
give
stop
them
them
the
from having guns.
They can't stop them from bearing arms, but what they can do is police an area. So to say, you guys cannot.
I don't
come
know
over.
about policing.
No,
I
they
feel like
can't.
they can kind of corral and kind of like.
But that's what I'm saying.
Direct where the crowd is going.
But that's policing an area. They can say, you guys cannot come this way. You guys cannot come this way. You guys can't come over here, not with those guns. Yes, you have the right to bear arms. Yes, you can go, majority wherever you want to with your guns. But right now, you're about to infringe on the rights and happiness of somebody else by coming this way. And it's only going to become unsafe, and you have no reason to be over here. So I prefer, you'd make our job easier if you would have stay over there. And that's what I felt like somebody in a leadership position should have easily been like, make sure these people don't go around these people. And if they do, there needs to be police presence there at all times. But it seemed like they were like, you guys are protecting your building? Okay, cool. So if they come around here, make sure you drive them back that way towards us and we'll be good. Okay, cool. Just because we can't be everywhere at the same time. Thank you. Appreciate it. So it's like they asked them to do their job for them and then got surprised that a 17-year-old kid went out and started playing Call of Duty.
I don't think that's what he did.
Well,
I think he was there. Somebody threw something at him, and then he shot, or someone shot, and then I think the crowd probably falsely identified him as the shooter.
No, he shot somebody.
Chased. I don't know, but I don't know how it.
But before that, someone shot in the air. When you watch the entire footage, there was someone who shot in the air.
There's something else that preceded him.
They said what started it was the people with guns were pointing their laser pointers at the crowd.
Yeah.
So they're pointing the guns and they're pointing the laser at the crowd, which is on the other side of the street. So then the crowd gets mad. They're like, bro, why y'all pointing your guns at us? You're not even police.
Right.
Why are you standing here? We're walking past you. Why are you sitting here yelling stuff at us and pointing your gun at us and pointing a laser pointer at us? So then everybody starts getting mad and riled up, talking about what you gonna do. Well, shoot. Everybody wants to act tough at that moment.
That's the wrong thing.
And that's what my homie said. That's the wrong thing to do when people got guns. You don't want to come over there and act tough.
Right.
So it's like everybody wants to like, yo, stop. Da. Instead of calling the police, getting police presence over there, which they should have known. That's what I'm saying. The cops should have known. People with guns, angry protesters, not going to mix. This is where I should stand.
I feel like it's not two groups like that. It's not just angry people than people with guns. I think it's such a large group of people and a mix of those people that it's like there's no way that you could
when I seen it, most of the people
that person got a gun, that person doesn't have a gun.
No, when I seen it, most of the people that were part of the militia were dressed like militia, like tactical men, type mercenaries type. Like they had the vest, the hat, they had the guns out and all that. Everybody from the Black Lives Matter crowd looks like just regular civilians just walking down the street. So for me, there should have at least, if you're gonna let them both kick it there, they should have been a police presence. There should have been a line there to keep those two groups separated. And to see whatever happens when stuff happens there. So if somebody came through and started pointing a laser at somebody, there should have been police there like, hey, no, if I can take you in for attempted murder or, inciting a riot or aggravated, whatever you want to, I can take you in for that. Stop that. And then if the other group of people, they come in and like just start yelling, the police should have been there like, hey, look, I'm letting y'all protest. Keep going this way. Don't talk to them. Go down this way.
We can stop at 10:30 if y'all with that.
I was gonna say 10 because I love
10. You want to stop at 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta go. But for me, it's like the number one factor in that whole incident is not the people, the militia there with guns. Even though I still don't think they should have been there. It's their right to be there. It's not the protest being there late at night, past curfew or whatever, because they have a right to be there as well. Even with COVID, even though I don't think they should, they have a right to be there. The main key of if this wouldn't have happened,
do you think that people were right in attacking him after they thought that he was the aggressor?
I mean, people are going to defend themselves. So as much as he had the right to defend himself, they had the right to defend themselves because they didn't have guns, and he did.
One of them had a gun.
Well, yeah, one of them had a gun, but I don't think they used it. Like, I think
Yeah, no, exactly. Yo, the one of them who had the one, that's what I was saying. The one who got shot in the bicep, who had the gun, who approached him, who went through so many different mixed signals. He had a clear shot the entire time.
And never took it.
He never just popped him from the back while he was looking somewhere else, and he easily could.
He could have done it so many times.
But if you're being chased by a crowd and then you get cracked,
slaughter this group of people with his shield. That he could because he thinks it. Maybe they're
I
gonna,
think
like
that is foolish for that person to think that they could subdue Captain America.
Sure, it's foolish.
It is.
I would not
Sure,
try to
so that's what I'm
subdue
saying.
Sure, it's
Wolverine
foolish. Sure,
if
it's foolish, but
Wolverine
that's
is
not
standing
the
in a room
Sure,
over
it's
a
foolish.
body.
So that's
Sure,
what-
it's
that was
foolish,
what I was
but
saying.
That's not the question that you're asking.
Exactly.
And the
If
thing,
a
and
shark
my
has
thing-
just attacked someone, I am not going
but
to
that's
try
the-
to
sure, but
subdue that shark.
Sure, but again, that's not the question you're asking. If you were going to ask me whether or not they're right, I'm going to stick specifically on whether or not they're right, not necessarily even
What should
whether
have
or not
happened.
not even necessarily whether or not
About to explode, and I run into the factory. And I go to try to stop the nuclear explosion, or whether I stop it or not, I die in the process of trying to stop the nuclear explosion.
And by that logic,
By that definition, I'm wrong
bro.
for trying to go in there and stop
That's not what I'm saying.
But I'm saying that's kind of the same
But-
logic.
but
Like
that's-
you knew
but
you were
that's
gonna
what-
die if
No,
you
no, no.
walked in
That's
there and
exactly-
tried
No,
to.
no, going
That's
in,
exactly
going
what the
in,
rhetoric
knowing
changes
that
to.
you're going to die, that's different than going in and dying and then being like, and then people saying, "Oh, he didn't know he didn't go there to die. He didn't know he was gonna die that day or whatever." But if you're going in with the express intent of stopping the nuclear reactor at any cost, then yes,
But no,
you're going
okay,
in there
but
to
even
die.
I'll do that. I'll change it like this. Okay, if you see somebody about to get hit by a bus and you try to jump in the way or hurt them or move them, but in the process of you moving them, just off a split second decision, like, oh, this person's about to get hit by a bus, and I move them and I get hit and I died.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, well, you shouldn't have tried to save that dude. You should have just let him get hit. You don't walk in front of a moving bus. I'm like, no, like at this point,
But I feel like it's an even worse analogy than that because I feel like the better analogy is that the bus driver was drunk and he hit someone and you tried to save someone and then you got hit and hurt in that process and then now that you got hurt, people go, like I don't know if you were right for trying. You
tried to jump and try to a bus, and you knew
it wasn't the most efficient way for you to save the person.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's kind of argument like that. So it's like, look, we understand.
Like, if there's an active shooter and you're hearing shots being fired and you know that there's police in the area, I would leave it to them.
But that's the whole.
I would not chase the guy down the street and hit him in the head with stuff and then be surprised when he turns around and start busting.
But that's the thing.
Enough.
That's fair. That's fair. No,
that's
fair enough. But that's what I'm saying. There are other people. There's other people. Exactly. There's other people that when they hear shots, they're running to them because it's like, look, I gotta go figure out what's going on. If there's something I can do to stop it, I'm gonna do it. So for me, I can't villainize those people. Like, yes, we get it. Gun versus human, gun wins every time. We know that.
Right.
But if you're willing to put yourself in harm's way to go save other humans, I'm not gonna vilify you for that. Like, yo, you shouldn't have done that. Like, that was wrong. Like, no, I get where your mentality was. If I stop
like
this dude,
the road to ruin is paved with good intentions.
Even then, but I still will. If you have good intentions, I will sell it. Even if it led to your ruins, I understand what you were trying to do.
Exactly.
So if it was, hey, bro, you were trying to save these people, even though you didn't have all the information, you saw a white dude running after shooting, busting some shots off. You wanted to, and I was like, it's one thing that they didn't want to kill him. They just wanted to catch him. Like I said, there were, like Rob said, there were other people like
the
you said too.
Dude hit him.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He assaulted him.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Once you attack a person with a gun and then they defend themselves.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm saying it's one thing with people in the crowd trying to shoot at him versus, yo, we just need to stop this dude. Let me throw a skateboard at him or a rock. Or like, we just need him to stop running. We need to get the cops' attention.
If he's running, let him run away. I can understand if while he was running, there's a video of him picking people off. Da, da, da. Then it's like, okay, somebody needs to put an end to that. But if he's just running,
but that's the thing. Nobody.
It's like, okay, he's getting away. He's going towards the police. Let him go.
But nobody knows. And in the moment, you can't assess that.
You see on the video that he's running towards the police line.
But we're seeing that in hindsight. We're seeing that from the footage. When you're standing there in the moment, all you hear is ka ka ka. You're thinking, was that police or regular people? And then you see a dude running with a gun and people running talking about, he just shot somebody. He shot that dude over there. Mm-hmm. Your adrenaline's kicking in. Your, cognitive shit is not really working at, okay, let me assess where is he running from? Who is he running to? All you see is a dude running. So your fight or flight instincts are going to kick in. And depending on what kind of person you are, you might be on some, okay, let me go fight this dude. Or you might, let me get away from him.
Once you come to that conclusion of let me go fight him, then you're taking your life in your own hands.
You are, but at that
you've become the judge.
Yeah, you have, but I'm not gonna say you were wrong for that decision though. That is your instinct of I'm about to go.
But that's that's for the police to decide if he's guilty or not. That's for the law to decide.
But you understand,
if you go and try to become the police and try to stop him, then it's like, what are you doing?
But we're at a protest for police brutality.
It's for a court of his peers to decide, not for the police.
Yeah, we're here protesting.
No, for the law system to decide by the court of his peers. But they got to have a judge.
But that's the thing. It's like we're here protesting the police. So you just shot a man for breaking up a fight because you thought he was reaching in his car to grab a weapon. We have this dude running down the street with a weapon that just actually fired it, and you guys are letting him walk past you. Obviously, at this point, we're going to start feeling angry. We're going to start feeling some...
But the assault was before that.
The assault was before that, but you guys are that's the whole point where I'm like, the police are wrong.
Well, are we still talking about Kenosha shooting, or is this
we're talking about Kenosha? So I'm saying the police are wrong because you guys are allowing these people to aggravate us.
Was the Kenosha shooter breaking up a fight?
No. I'm talking about that's the reason why we're here.
About the black guy
that's the reason why
reaching into his.
That's the whole reason why the protest was there in the first part, right? So at that point, you should have, as police, you guys should have been like, You guys should stop aggravating these people by pointing your guns and your laser pointers at them. Because as much as you're like, you guys need to go home, there's a curfew, you need to be like, you guys need to stop aggravating these people because it's going to get ugly.
That's the biggest reason why I feel like he's still at fault, because he came to a protest armed. And for me, like, do you have the right to bear arms? Yes, you do.
No, he doesn't. At that point, he's 17. He has no right to bear arms.
Well, I mean,
what the laws are in that state.
No, that's why he's
generally like constitutionally. You specific restrictions and stuff like that. Yeah. So, and I personally think like he probably should be held accountable for those different laws that he broke, like crossing the border with it with
his mom too.
Minor, her
and his mom.
Yeah. But for me, the overall thing is that you went to a place of civil unrest, armed to the teeth, open carrying, not even concealed carrying. You came there open carrying
with
that
lethal weapon.
Is a act of aggression.
Exactly.
And for me, like the idea that to bear arms out in public cannot be interpreted as a sign of aggression is kind of asinine. So then if you then initiate the aggression and then you put yourself into a situation in which you then you have to act aggressively. So then you then have to use self-defense to save your life, and you go, oh, well, I had to kill this dude. He was going to kill me. I think that should be illegal, just in the way that it already is.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been there.
And that's why the whole pretext. It's funny. I was watching like different
both
law groups break
both
down.
parties are wrong.
Second, bro,
the shooter is wrong, and the crowd is wrong.
I agree, and that's why I think that the shooter in this situation is going to go to jail, just like he should. Because and this is why I think like there was an example of like some left wing people who brought their guns to some other protests. I think the best thing people can do right now is don't bring fucking guns to a place of civil unrest. If
people in the crowd had guns,
but that's what he's
saying.
The guy who attacked him had a gun.
That's
what he just said. That's what he just said.
And
I'm agreeing with him.
People on both sides should not bring their gun. But I personally think that once both of them brought them there, they both could be held liable for the act of aggression of and I don't know. I think I would say if you're open carrying, you have more of a burden, or you had a more aggressive stance than someone who's concealed carrying, who people don't know have a gun. But if you're showing up armed to the teeth, standing out in front of some random gas station, and people do or don't know whether or not and for me, this is the big thing. If no one from that gas station asked them to be there, I think it's incredibly clear. I think it gets really murky if the gas station owner said, yeah, you can come over and I want you to protect my land. Because then it's like, all right, the guy actually asked for it. He's on private property. But what I saw is militia dudes running around. And they would do like weird, like specific, almost like media trained kind of things. Like they would aggravate different people by like laser pointing at different people, but then when the cameras are on, they'll run around in the crowds going, everybody okay? You guys need water? You guys need water? It's like if a dude who you're just sitting there yelling at all of a sudden turns on the camera and runs up to you like, hey bro, you good? It's like, yeah bro, I'm good. Like get the hell out of my face. Like,
yeah.
Like what, so I feel like they have already been shown to be doing very media savvy things on top of the fact that they came there. And there's video of them beforehand, and it really seems like, in my mind, that they were looking for a fight.
They were.
So they put themselves into a situation in which, it devolved, and then, they had to use what would seem like a basic level of, like, self-defense. But it's like, bro, you put yourself there in the first place. You wouldn't have to defend yourself if you never showed up with the AR-15 whatever.
My thing is, why was he the only one? Based
upon the video I saw, the guy had a handgun who was attacking him. So probably other members of the crowd had guns too. And,
but
I feel like it goes both ways. You can't just say that
the
militia people can't have guns and the people in the crowd can.
Nobody said that. Yeah. Nobody said that.
I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm trying to clarify my point.
No. We can.
If there's a large group of people, walking down the street with guns, and just like the police can't go through and weed out which ones are militia or
that's
not,
what I'm saying. I think it's
more of an active situation than that, than like.
But I don't think
them congealing into one group and then congealing into another one. I think it's like.
Are you saying that it would? Are you saying that you are then justified in open carrying with firearms because you because you think that people in a crowd are concealed carry.
That's my thing.
No, I'm saying that both parties are wrong because there was a curfew put on, so no one should have been there in the first place, really. And the old boy is wrong because he did cross state lines with a gun. And if the law says that 17-year-olds are not allowed to have guns, he's double wrong. But at the same time, that does not absolve them of responsibility for attacking him while he appeared to be fleeing the site or fleeing.
So this is my thing. So when it comes to the protest, like I said, I believe everybody should stay home for safety reasons, not even just like when there's a curfew in effect. To me, it's kind of like redundant, or it's kind of stupid to put a curfew in effect for the sake of a protest. Like, oh, there's a curfew in effect. Stop your protest. Like what? Like the whole reason we're out here in the first place is to cause civil unrest. So you putting a curfew in effect is kind of being pointless. But
if the whole point of them having to register their protest is so that the police can get enough numbers together to where they can actually be a force that could stop people like those militia people you were talking about earlier, then that's why they want you to tell them to set it up so they can be more prepared.
But that's the thing.
Instead of it just being like a spontaneous, we fill the streets with people with guns.
I think there probably on some level should be some kind of coordination,
some order to
it.
The
greater situation.
Here's the thing: we don't know if that protest wasn't coordinated. We don't know if people didn't have their permit. We just know that a protest happened, and I think the night before there were a couple of riots because everybody was upset. But like out here in Long Beach, when they put in the curfew, and we started there was all right, our protest starts at 4. And we're going to go till 7. They put a curfew in effect at 5. Everybody in Long Beach was like, why are you putting a curfew in effect at 5 right after we let you guys know our protest starts at 4? And we see what you're trying to do. You put a curfew in effect to try to get us to go home. But because you get your whole, you guys can get your hour of protest in, but after you're done with your hour of protest, go home. Like, no, we're not about to be out here for just 1 hour. We're going to be out here for as long as we need to be to actually properly protest. So that's why I think putting a curfew into effect at that point is kind of like, all right, we're tired of y'all. Go home. And if you don't go home, we're just going to use this curfew thing to start shooting at y'all.
What if the curfew was set up to where it's like, we can only ensure that it's going to be a safe environment for so long because we only have a certain number of cops that can be on the job for so long. So after a certain time, there's going to be.
They need to run that overtime because all those cops were still there. Like at that point, whether they wanted to go home or not, all those cops were still there. So they had to be there whether people honored their curfew. They were still going to be on the clock. They still had to be ready just in case people wanted to go and leave and started protesting afterwards.
Oh no!
So they had to be there regardless. So we might as well just let them rock and do their job.
When it's a spontaneous reaction by the people, it's like there's no time to plan already. And plus, who knows what's going on with their police department? It might be defunded already. It might be like.
So that's the thing. They left too much up to that militia. They should have. I get you can't tell them to go home. They have every right to be there like the protesters, but they left them unsupervised and unchecked for too long, to the point where this kid felt like he had to shoot. They got into a disagreement or an argument where there was no police, and this kid felt like he had to shoot somebody. Now, when he did, what they normally tell us to do and what they normally say for everybody to do is stay at the scene. If you shoot somebody and it's self-defense and you really, we're in the right, stay there, call the police. The police will come to you. Put your gun down, stay with your hands up and all this other stuff. This is what you're supposed to do. This kid didn't follow none of those rules. So when they talk about us and if he would have just put his hands down, he would have got shot. Well, if he would have just did this, he wouldn't have got shot. He did the exact same thing. He fled the scene of a crime. Not only did he flee the scene of a crime, he shot somebody and didn't call the police. He called a friend. He called his homie, said, I just killed someone. I just shot somebody. And then dipped off and left. So now that he's fleeing a scene of the crime, it's the same thing if somebody did a hit or run. Somebody's going to try to chase them and get their number. So, yeah, he caused...
It's different because it's in a crowd of people.
Yeah, but like
And if there's a large crowd of like angry, like mob like people, then I wouldn't stay there either. I wouldn't move.
For me, especially if I have a gun, I would stay there.
I wouldn't stay.
I would stay, and I'd have my gun at the ready. Like, look, I shot him in self-defense.
Especially
back
if some
up.
of the members of the crowd have guns too.
Yeah, I'd be like, back up, please do not back up, and I'd wait for somebody in the militia to come and back me up. I'm like, look, I shot him in self-defense, and he's talking about, he said, had the wounds, like, we got med kits, we got first aid to help deliver first aid, and he didn't deliver first aid to the person he just shot. So it's like, all right, so I just shot you, and I'm about to dip and run and see if somebody else can save you, even though I have all the tourniquets, I have all the stuff on me right now. I'm going to dip and call my homie and said I just shot somebody and try to figure out where they are. And I'm going to walk past the police with my hands up, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to lay on the ground. I'm not going to put my gun on the ground.
If the person he shot has other people with him, if he tries to stay there and help him, they could come up and like kill him without him seeing them.
But that's what they tell you to do. If you shoot somebody, even in self-defense, you are not supposed to run. You're supposed to stay there, call the police, and wait for them to get there. That is the protocol. So when everybody says, well, he walked past them and lift his hands up, like, he shouldn't have been walking. He shouldn't have been walking around. No, he could have stood there.
The people were attacking him. The guy hit him. They were already like assaulting him.
Yeah, while he was running. But that's what I'm saying. That would have.
He can't stay in that.
No. That's when he started to run. If he would have shot and been like, how everybody scattered, he had long enough to take his phone out, dial his phone, call his friend, and be like, I just shot somebody. Look around, and then start sprinting. And that's when people started chasing him. Imagine what would have happened if you would have shot the person, called the police and said, somebody shot down here. I had to shoot somebody in self-defense. Yeah. Can you please come down here as fast as you can?
Like, why didn't he have enough forethought to think that if I show up to a protest with a gun and shoot somebody, that I'm then going to have to
probably defend myself or keep shooting?
I'm going to have to stop shooting and then put myself to the whim of the crowd around me, of people who may also be carrying a firearm.
This might turn into a shootout.
So that's the legal thing I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to have to then, I'm going to have to put myself at the mercy of the crowd to make sure that I'm not a person who's just going off popping.
Exactly.
People. So it's like, yeah, does it seem sketchy?
I feel like everyone there is at the mercy of the crowd, though. Because if the crowd heard a gunshot and they think it comes from you, they don't need any evidence to back that up. They could another person over there could be like, "Yeah, I saw him do it too," but they didn't see nothing. They just talking.
Fair game. But if I'm sitting there, if I pop somebody or I didn't, and I'm the one with the gun.
Yes.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, look, at this point, I'm the one that can sit here and defend my case, because if you really want to come up to me, I can sit here and defend.
But there's other people in that crowd with guns.
The Captain America analogy is the easiest
That's
one.
What I'm saying.
You walk in, he's standing over a bloody body. What is he supposed to... And
do you leave or do you try to tackle Captain America?
And all these peons start trying to
That's what I'm saying.
Tackle Captain America. Does he have the right to slaughter that group of old people who are trying their best to fucking...
No, you're straw manning them. They were hitting him with weapons, and one of the people had a gun.
I'm going to tell you this.
I'm going
to do this. I'm going to say it like this. I would have respected, quote unquote, the decision to shoot somebody else more if he would have stayed there. If he would have shot one person and been like, okay, I shot him, give him this tourniquet, this is how you apply first aid that I'm quote unquote here to help supply. I'm gonna call the police, and then people start coming like, "What'd you do?" And he's sitting there like, "Yo, back up! I'm trying to help this man." And then somebody approached him and then he shot another one.
By then it's too late. But somebody could just walk up on you and be like,
But that's what I'm saying. If we're gonna play the what if, somebody could have done that while he was running, they didn't. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. The fact that if he would have stayed there,
maybe I'm going to die. So now
they did attack him at a certain point.
But I'm saying they could have attacked him.
They could have attacked him while he's trying to help that person.
So that's what I'm saying.
But he moved, and that might have been what stopped them from attacking him right then.
That's what for me what initiated it,
or it might have been what spurred
exactly because you shot somebody and now you're trying to leave.
But if you're leaving and the crowd is not policemen, they can't arrest him.
They can do a civil. They can do yes, they can. They can do a citizen's arrest. They can
do
a citizen's arrest.
But if a person has a tank, okay, and they're driving a tank through a town,
yeah,
I'm not going to try to citizen arrest them with my bare hands.
That's what I'm saying. That's your personal preference.
Exactly.
In the crowd, there was people that was like, I'm gonna do a civil. We see Karens do it all the time. I'm gonna do a civil arrest. I'm gonna do a citizen's arrest. So. They in that situation, they were right to try to subdue him in the legal form. Does it make sense for you to try to come up and tackle somebody with an AR-15? No, of course not. But if that's what your spirit tells you to do, that's one thing. But what I'm saying is, if he wouldn't have ran on some, okay, let me go run and try to find the homies, or try to like go get to, you know, somewhere else. If he would have stayed where he was at and been like, I just shot somebody, they need first aid, I'm staying here until the police come so I can talk to the police, I would have been like, okay, this kid is at least trying to handle it the legal way. He was defending himself. I see kind of that
I
aspect.
just feel like him staying right there might have caused more
It could have
harm than good.
And him leaving could have caused. But that's the thing.
That's the
But I
chance
feel like
you
him-
run when you show up to a protest with a gun.
What
in the
he
first
should have
place.
done.
Yes.
The
That's
what
the
exactly?
very thing he
I
has
agree.
to-
I feel like
to-
he was
to
wrong
justify.
and the crowd was wrong.
But what
because
he
they
should have
both
done-
violated the curfew.
But what he should have done was, if he shot somebody, it's already violated. Everybody got shot. Everything already happened. He should have stayed there and waited for the
I don't
police
think he
to
should
come.
have stayed because if the crowd is getting riled up and they don't care
No, I'm
about,
talking about legally.
him trying to help.
What we're supposed to do.
But if you try to save your life and you're thinking about, moving away from danger, you're not gonna.
But that's what I'm saying.
You're not gonna just stand right there
No,
with the
even
gun,
then.
and you know that members of the crowd have guns, but you don't know which ones have guns.
But that's what I'm saying.
You don't know
Even
their
then-
intentions.
Even then, I would have stopped there. Like, look, this was in self-defense. Stop.
They're not trying to hear that,
Or
bro.
we'll wait till the law gets here. So that's the whole thing. I'm
They're
like,
not
we're
trying to
waiting
hear
until the
that.
police gets here. Stop.
I
It was
get
in
that, but I feel
self-defense.
like
If they're throwing bricks at him and stuff, then it's like
But that's what I'm saying.
you get hit by one brick and one of them pick up your gun.
But that's okay.
That's
But they
game
were
over.
they were throwing bricks at him when he started running. We don't know what happened if he would have stayed, because he didn't stay.
A brick would have hit his head.
No, we don't
That's
know
what
that.
would have happened.
No, we don't know that, and we can't say that's what would have happened. We can assume, we can think that. We can't assume the worst of that crowd.
Exactly.
We can't, just like we can't assume the
There's
worst of this
video
kid.
of them hitting him
After
and
he-
assaulting.
After he ran.
assaulted
If
someone.
I said if he would have stayed there and tried to say, "Hey, look, I'm defending myself."
I think the video shows that their intent was not just to
No, we can't say that. We can't say that.
keep
Yeah,
him
bro.
there and
Yeah,
subdue
bro,
him.
but-
If you're hitting a guy who's trying to get away from you, even
Right.
if a guy breaks in your house and he turns around and tries to run out, you can't shoot him in the back. You're going to jail for that.
It depends. No, because at that point you're like, I don't know where I don't know
If
where
he's
he's
trying to leave your
Yes,
house,
I agree.
So
you
no, here we go.
cannot shoot
that's-
him in the back.
But again,
At that point, you
but
can be
for
like,
me,
I don't know if he's
the
gonna
thing
come
that
back.
make-
I don't know where he's gonna go. He can go to get a gun out of his car. He can go be calling his homies to come in. So yes, I shot from my doorway in his back to make sure that when y'all got here, you have the suspect. Because he obviously knows where I'm at. He knows
I know
where
people
I live.
who got in trouble for shooting back at people who were
Oh, yeah.
shot at their house.
Oh, that's black. That's black. He got in trouble for it too. But I would still, in that instant, if you shoot at my house, I'm shooting back at you. Because at that point, if you're running away, because you now have shown me that you know where I live and you're willing to cause harm where I live. You didn't just meet me on the street and we got into a random altercation. You came to my house. So that doesn't, like, if you leave today, you can come back tomorrow. So I'm going to get you now while you're here, whether you're running away or not. And if I have to go stand in front of a court to say, Your Honor, while this person lives, I don't feel safe. That's my
They're
self-defense.
They're gonna
And if
charge
it, and if
you-
it doesn't
they're
work, it
gonna charge
doesn't
you
work.
with like third-degree murder.
And
or
I will
something.
take that sentence.
and the massive.
You will have to. They're gonna put that
The
on.
massive
No, I mean, I would take it.
context- The massive context that should be added before is that
Hmm.
if you have a firearm, you should have enough forethought to think that that's the kind of situation
That's
I'm gonna
gonna
put
go-
myself
exactly.
in when I show up to a protest with a
Or
weapon.
any type of
So
situation.
it's
If
like-
I have a weapon, I know that at some point I might have to use it. Or it might cause some kind of... I know when I take my gun out, I'm like, look, even if I don't have to use it, I know this is going to cause some kind of energy shift because I have it on me, period. So it's like him as a 17-year-old, he didn't get that. All he learned is how to shoot and where to shoot and how to point and all that. He didn't understand look, if you shoot, this is what you need to do afterwards. If you shoot, this is what you need to da-da-da-da-da. So for me, it's like the first person he shot, if we want to say, okay, he was in the right for that, wrong for that, whatever, blah, 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 blah. The second person he shot, the fact that he was leaving was wrong. The fact that they were attacking him, depending on your preference, was not smart. Or not, I will say it was not smart, but depending on your preference, might be wrong, yes or no. But the fact that he did not stay to fully do because he was trying to halfway do the law thing. Well, I have the right to hold a gun. Which he didn't. I have the right to have the gun. I have the right to defend myself. I have the right to do that. You do. But after you play into those rights, there's a certain protocol you have to follow after that. and he didn't follow that protocol. And since he didn't follow that protocol, it's kind of like, you know what, bro? Whatever happens to you happens to you. And then it's like, okay, kids, if you want to go, if he would have stayed there and been on some like, look, hey, don't nobody come near me. We're waiting for the cops to come. I did this in self-defense. Don't come near me. I'm waiting for the cops to come. Then somebody would have came up with a brick and he shot them too. I'd have been like, hey, look, at that point, you should have stopped because he said they were waiting for the cops and you attacked him, you know, and he was sat there. He tried to apply first aid and you attacked him. Now the second person that got shot would have been like super in the wrong. I'm like, yo, he was at that point, he was trying to save him. But it's the fact that he shot old dude, called his homeboy, and then started running, not towards police, not in the sense of I'm about to go tell the police what I did, but just kind of like, I know that if I cross police lines, I'm safe, right? So that for me showed that it was more of a, at that point, I'm not going to say that he wanted to do it, but it's just, he was not ready. He should have never been in that situation out of everybody. Even the people that shouldn't have been there because the curfew was broken, even out of the militia that shouldn't have been there just because you were going to cause the energy shift. You shouldn't have been there because you are a 17-year-old child that does not know how to handle this situation. So the police is wrong for letting you be there, and you're wrong for even thinking that you were ready for this.
I feel like all parties are wrong, but I commend his behavior in after being assaulted, not just mowing down people, because he could have started mowing down people until one of them mowed him down or got him. So it's like, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And if you attack a dude with a rifle as he's running away and he turns around and puts a round in your chest, then that's on you. You have to take responsibility for that.
Right.
But
I totally agree. I actually totally agree. I think it's just two layers of, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. If you attack a guy who's retreating, who has a rifle, you're probably going to get shot. And also, if you show up to a protest and shoot a guy and then start retreating, people are probably going to
probably attack you.
Probably still, or probably attacking people. So it's like I agree. Yeah. I think
and that's why I said from the jump, both parties are wrong. Everybody's wrong.
For me, I would say, because the reason why I'm so skeptical, and I don't want to step on what you're saying, but the reason why I'm so sketchy to say that both parties were wrong is because one party was there to kind of aggravate, even though they want to say we're there to protect businesses, we're there to one party came to kind of start aggravating another party. So like, if one group wasn't there to kind of incite the anger of the other group, like if one group wasn't there completely, it would have been, okay, these group of people are breaking curfew, they're upset and they're going home. But it's the fact that that second group was allowed to be in so close of a proximity that, for me, they are the one that are truly in the wrong. Because breaking curfew, if everybody would just broke curfew that night in one side of that, just if the Black Lives Matter would just broke curfew and then went home, everybody would have went home alive.
I mean, I'm not sure, but I think that there was rioting happening
the night
before
that. That was the night before, but that wasn't because of a protest. That was just they killed somebody and people just started going out and rioting.
They started breaking businesses,
so they started
breaking windows.
Once they had a
crystal knock and all that.
Yeah, once they had a peaceful protest happening, an actual march happening, that's different. So letting.
But I feel like if they are saying, if the militia people are saying that they're coming as a response to the night before them destroying the businesses, then it's like, okay, they're responding, but
and that's why I think it gets really
you can
murky.
do
still wrong.
You think it gets really murky if you can prove that the business actually did ask them to come out and
not just say like, oh, we're gonna go out and protect businesses, just because when the shit happened out in Long Beach, everybody was, when you saw who was protecting what business, and everybody wasn't protecting everybody's business. So if I'm standing in front of the Pizza Hut I owned and somebody literally was standing across the street breaking into the stuff across the street, it was like, all right, you know what, I'm not gonna help you, I'm gonna let that go ahead. No problem.
I've seen videos of pawn shop owners being killed in front of their shops.
So that's what I'm saying,
people going in and taking everything they wanted from out of it. So it's like, if people are seeing that and they're going, okay, old Mr. Robinson got murdered defending his shop, so next time I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna try to help them. You know,
But
it's
that's what I'm
like
saying.
I can understand the sentiment,
Some
even
people,
though
yeah.
in my mind they're wrong because they're breaking the law. The law says that there's a curfew, stay your ass inside at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pandemic on right now, stay your ass inside to not spread it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
But that's what I'm
if
saying.
you're going against that, then whatever happens beyond that is on you, my nigga.
But no, at that point, it's like still. That's why I said the main person at fault is the law. Because if you're there to maintain the law,
If the law is saying don't come out because
no, I'm talking about police when I say
we
the
can
law.
only
law,
guarantee your safety
Law,
between
man.
the hours of 10 to 11 o'clock, and you choose to stay out there past those hours, and then all hell starts breaking loose. It's like, that's on you.
But that's still like, even if you guys are breaking curfew, the fact that you're riding past one group and saying you guys go home, and you're riding past another group and saying, do you guys need water? You need to be.
Or we really appreciate.
We really appreciate you guys being out here past this curfew, giving them as if you're deputizing them. That's what I'm saying. The real in everything, the police are wrong. Number one, even before this 17-year-old kid, the police were wrong because they should have had that situation under control. Of you guys have guns. You should be. There's no reason why
the police will be deputizing no one if no one was out there.
But not even that.
If
But that's
people
the
were following the curfew,
But we can't. But that's the thing.
then
Even
no one would be there
after
to
the
be
curfew is broken.
deputized.
Even after the curfew is broken. Even after people are coming with their weapon. Because I'm not gonna just say, oh well, we can't. We can keep the curfew law. Like the curfew, people were breaking the curfew law. That's gonna happen. But the whole point is, okay, we got people breaking the curfew on both sides, but you guys have guns, and you guys are aggravating these people. And the fact that a person with a gun and a person from the other side of that were able to get face to face and have like an argument, and those two groups clashed without a police presence to get in between them, like, no, you guys go back over here, you guys go back over here. The police were wrong for that because they were giving these people the right to be there.
I feel like the police in those situations more or less just corral the people into one spot. They don't like try to go into the crowd and try to separate things that are happening, because I've been in like some large crowds like that were like being tear gassed and stuff.
Yeah,
by
that's
police.
what I mean.
And it's not like they don't come in and split the crowd.
No,
all they do is just keep backing the crowd up. They form a line and then they just keep.
No, what they do when they have two groups that clash, like if they have like a white pride rally that's happening, and then there's Black Lives Matter people on the other side, what they'll do is they'll stand in a line in between them, and then just make sure they never meet. So they could have done that and just made sure those two never met. Like, look, you guys can walk past each other, but you guys will never actually get face to face. We won't let that happen. We see you guys over here, but what they ended up doing was being more of like, hey, look, if they come this way, push them more back this way towards us. And I'm like, how are you going to ask people with guns to push civilians back this way without using their guns? So it's like, for me, the police are literally the worst part of that whole night, is because if they were doing their job, that would have never happened. Everybody would have been out with their guns. Everybody would have been able to protest even past curfew without anybody getting shot, just because of the police presence being there. But since they wanted to deputize these vigilantes and be on some like, no, whatever you guys do, we're going to back you, then this is the results you get. And the kid's going to do it with what he feels like is your blessing. But that's all I'm saying.
Well, yes. Thank you for tuning in to the On the Table podcast.
Trying to
Please
think
like
something else.
and subscribe and comment if you disagree or agree with any of our point of views.
I'm trying to think of something else I can say to piss off the people real quick before we get off here.
Trying to think of another way to get canceled real fast.
Jesus is a black woman. Wow, that did it.
There you go. We'll leave that one till next time. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen. This has been fun. On the Table podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm taking over the podcast now. This is KO over here.
Back to SMR spot.
I thought you were ASMR Rob. I'm sorry.
ASMR Rob, my bad. ASMR Rob, how you doing? Do you want to hear my dick
And I'm
drag against
Joe
the
Budden.
mic?